Welcome to Builder Information Systems Video Learning Center. This tutorial will cover the initial process for setting up system-wide parameters. As the name implies, system-wide parameters is an administrative area that provides default settings and options that are facilitated system-wide throughout Builder Information System. Having system-wide parameters set up properly helps to simplify processes and saves time when creating transactions throughout BIS. Please note, if you are setting up your system-wide parameters for the first time, have your chart of accounts completed with all relevant modifications before proceeding. To access the system-wide parameters, select the System-Wide Parameters link in the white area of the My Desktop Administrator folder, or go to Administrator, System-Wide Parameters, and select System-Wide Parameters. System-Wide Parameters always opens to the GL tab by default. On the System-Wide Parameters screen, the individual tabs indicate the module affected: General Ledger, Accounts Payable, Accounts Receivables, Cash Disbursements, Cash Receipts, Inventory Adjustments, Applied Deposits, Payroll, Job Cost, Job Billing, Document Manager, Bank Reconciliation, Miscellaneous, and Consolidation. Grayed out tabs represent modules which are not currently a part of your license. Click on a tab to access the related account fields and option settings for that module. Also note that certain options and features may only be available in the Professional and/or Enterprise editions of BIS. If you selected one of the pre-existing sample chart of accounts while creating your new company, most, if not all, account fields will already be populated in system-wide parameters with the most commonly used accounts and settings. Those accounts and settings may be changed as needed. Starting from left to right in the System-Wide Parameters screen, the General Ledger tab displays titles used on financial and income statements within BIS. These titles and other format information may be customized here. To modify a title as it appears on the corresponding financial report, enter the desired title in the field to the right. Check $sign where you wish to have $signs appear accordingly. Also note that the default balance sheet closing account is set at the bottom of the GL screen. Account information may be entered or selected using the lookup feature at the right. Click on the AP tab. Review each setting throughout the screen, starting from the top, and set as desired. Note, if you are uncertain as to the settings functionality, right-click on either the field or setting description and select What's This? In most cases, help resource information will appear providing the pertinent information. Example, right-click on the Accounts Payable field. Select What's This? The help screen opens with Records the default Accounts Payable account. This may be selected from the chart of accounts by using the Find tool. Simply close the help resource when completed. Be aware that you may find some newer settings that currently do not have information in the help resource. In those cases, information may be found either in the corresponding PDF reference manual or in the cumulative enhanced list, which may be downloaded as a reference from the support area of our website at bissoftware.com. For in-depth information on system-wide parameters, refer to the BIS Administrator Installation and Setup Reference Manual, which is in PDF format. Within system-wide parameters, there are several number fields provided, like Last Purchase Order Number. In this case, if you have the purchase order module and a number is provided in this field, the next purchase order transaction created will receive the next consecutive number, and the field number is automatically updated upon saving the purchase order transaction. Also within system-wide parameters are several edit options, like edit purchase order number. Again, if you have the purchase order module and this setting is checked, it allows users the option to edit and generate purchase order numbers on the fly when the transaction is initially created. Upon completing the desired settings on the AP tab, move to the AR tab. The AR tab has several associated account fields to set up, along with related settings options pertaining to accounts receivable, invoices, etc. Under Print Options are settings that allow a standard message to be created and printed on the various AR invoices. The message is entered in a provided field on the Print Options tab found at the Contract Invoices, Sales Invoices, Credit Memo, and Debit Memo transaction screens. Once the message is entered and the transaction is saved, it will then appear on the printed invoices. The Retain Standard Message Until Changed option, when checked, will retain a saved message and print it on subsequent invoices until the message information is changed. Now continue through the CD tab and each accessible tab, providing the required default accounts where needed and making the desired option settings. If you have the Payroll module, I recommend leaving the Payroll tab for last. I've provided additional details related to Payroll towards the end of this tutorial. If you have the Document Manager module, the DM tab allows you to embed a company logo on the Document Manager forms using the function in the upper left. Under Other Settings to the right are the options to show fax number on Document Manager report forms and enable DM alternate and use define forms. If you have the Bank Reconciliation module, you will note that the BK tab has only Enable Exclude options. The Enable Exclude function in Bank Reconciliation allows checks, cash deposits, and other transactions to be excluded within the process, as if they do not exist for reconciling purposes. Having this option available may be beneficial from time to time. I recommend checking all the boxes. The Miscellaneous tab has some desirable general settings. The data format settings affects the various data fields found on master records and transactions throughout BIS. Set as desired. The Send Email By setting provides a choice for sending reports via email through Builder Information System. The Biz Email Service setting requires that email and mail server information be set up for each user on the Mail Account tab in User Preferences. If you have Microsoft Outlook or Outlook Express on your workstation, utilizing this setting allows reports to be emailed from BIS via Microsoft Outlook, which provides an easily retrievable record of the emails and allows the direct use of email address books within Microsoft Outlook. Mapping Selection provides map utilization options accessible from master records in the Professional and Enterprise editions. If you have Microsoft's Map Point installed on your workstation, you may use this option or use Google Map. To the left under Reports, there are setting options to have the company name be either left, center, or right justified on the reports throughout BIS. If needed, page margins may be adjusted using the settings to the right. Also note there is a W2 and W3 laser form margins micro adjustment settings available for dialing in the information on those pre-printed forms. Reset the numeric coprocessor. Do not use this option unless instructed to do so by BIS technical support. Verify the trial balance upon startup option verifies the general ledger trial balance each time a company is open. If an out-of-balance condition is detected, a message will list the amount. This option is enabled by default. The Allow Offsetting Transactions refers to journal entries and will allow you the option of creating a standard reversing entry or to select a date on which an offsetting journal entry will apply when the transaction is completed and saved. For information on setting up consolidation, refer to the tutorial on the consolidation process. Lastly, select the Payroll tab. Again, start at the top with the cash account and work your way through the account fields and various settings options. Note the accrue options. To accrue a selection to the general ledger, check the checkbox and provide the corresponding payable and expense account to which it will accrue to. Upon completing the main portion of the payroll screen, select the Federal Tax Information button in the upper right. The Federal Tax Information form will appear. Complete the required information and select the desired settings options on each of the 4 tabs. Save and close the Federal Tax Information window. Next, select the State Tax Information button in the upper right. Each of the 50 U.S. states and the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico are listed in the initial State Tax Information form. Place a check in the Mark column to select a state, then click on the Tax button to access the state's tax information form. Starting on the State tab, complete the required information and settings as needed, and proceed to do so on the SUTA, SDI, and Tax Deferred tabs. Save and close. Note that the BIS Administrator Installation and Setup Reference Manual, which is in PDF form, has detailed help information pertaining to system-wide parameters, Payroll tab, Federal Tax Information form, and the State Tax Information form. Upon completing the initial setup process, save and close system-wide parameters. Note that any time you have made changes in system-wide parameters and go to close the screen, a prompt will appear. Do you want to save changes? Select Yes to save the changes.